No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
I mean, there's so much more in the rec room alone that seems to point towards other things, like why is the locker room open with handprints on it? Why was the door even locked, you know? Why was the protein shake there? Why was the blood on the floor? There's so much things, or the blood on the floor near the magazine shelf.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
Because what we can gather from not only that image from Hiro, but what Hiro said, is that Sakura was seated when he hit her on the head. That seems to make sense. That's the sort of the conclusion that we thought of as well, right? That she got in the head while she was sitting on that bench. That makes sense, but then the locker was still locked behind him, and there was only one hit. And Hiro, there was a supposedly second bottle that broke. There was other stuff going on as well, you know?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain.
The locker room?
And until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
So it's definitely not Hiro. I can say that for sure. It's definitely not Hiro. So what is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? What he would have had to do after writing the message? It doesn't make sense. Why he picked Toko? Why the magazine was hidden? Why he didn't use Sakura's finger? Huh. This actually, I feel like, why he didn't use Sakura's finger, but that's probably because he's stupid. Why the magazine was hidden. I feel like it might be this one. It's this one, or why Sakura's finger wasn't. I mean, all three actually kind of make sense.
I got it!
Oh, we got it.
That's true. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it?
Huh?
By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh, well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
Okay, Toko immediately pointing fingers. Suspicion is now on you, girl.
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Then, he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
Yep.
I don't think there's any question about that.
But then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
So your mind immediately goes to Toko. Someone who wouldn't like what had been written. Yeah, that's Toko for sure.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right?
What?
Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room? Why would I have... Wait, but more important, that doesn't even matter. We already know who did it, right?
No.
Hiro just admitted it.
He thought he killed her, but I don't think that was enough to kill Sakura. Come on, just one hit with a bottle on the head? That's not enough to kill Sakura.
That's right. I killed her.
You're overestimating yourself, Hiro.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
Nope, that's only the beginning.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious. That's just... I don't believe it.
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
Just tell us what happened after. What did you do after
I don't
that?
really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer. And I have to prove that. What? Examination summary.
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind.
Yeah.
And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once. After the first swing, the bottle shattered. And she went limp.
Twice.
See? Isn't it obvious?
Her examination summary
Hero
was that she
really
was hit
is
twice.
the killer.
Okay, I got it. Hiro hit Sakura, that's for sure. But this doesn't end there. There's something that proves that. The wounds on her head.
I didn't want to,
I'm pretty
but
sure it's the second.
I grabbed the Monokuma and I hit Ogre from behind.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once.
yeah, just once.
Bam.
No, that's wrong. If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Huh? 2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck
Duh.
twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hiro's stupidity just keeps surprising me over and over again.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head?
Does he just not work well under pressure, or what is it?
She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used.
I guess the figurines?
Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
Because there are 6 different chess pieces in the game of chess?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Correlation between the Monokuma bottles. I feel like it's starting to become clear. That connection must be. It's the object that the Monokuma figure inside each bottle is holding. Hangman, gambits. Chess piece, I imagine? Yes, chess piece. The E, give me the E. An S. P. E. I can spell perfectly, another E. Bam, chess piece.
Now I understand. That's it! The chess pieces! Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was... the knight, if I remember.
Yep, it was the knight. And the only one that's missing is the queen.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn.
Bishop, that's the piece name that I forgot actually.
What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
Yep.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while 1 apparently went missing.
Because that person tried to hide the fact that Sakura was hit twice in the head with another bottle.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
No, hell no. Go is way better.
Yeah! Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Because Sakura waited.
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait. Then the bottle was missing was broken. It was excited. Really? It was excited?
The bottle must
that
have
was
been
an
broken.
option? Oh, the bottle was so excited. It was frozen stiff. If you know what I mean.
What makes you so sure?
Because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle. And the evidence that proves it, that is... Kyoko and I figured it out before. Where is it? It's this one.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles.
Yep, and it was way more than just one, meaning 2 bottles broke there.
And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is... there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces. Which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by Sakura's second.
I got it! The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
Things seem to be going so smoothly right now.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
Like, it is just the Makoto and the Kyoko show.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko?
Toko? She looks shocked. She's even holding her pigtails.
And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her!
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am.
Yeah, because you have to do it so often, right, Hiro?
Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
You better blow me away, Hiro.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her.
Toko?
I saw Toko go into the rec room.
Huh. You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room.
Toko was in the locker for sure.
I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in.
God. Toko was in for sure. She was in the locker hiding. Yes. I don't... Like, I just keep thinking further and further, and I seem to think like, yeah, okay, it's gonna be like, Hiro did it, and then, no, wait, Hiro didn't do it. Wait, Togo did it. No, Togo didn't do it. But then, you know, the list becomes smaller and smaller, and the only two that actually do become it is Byakuya or Hina.
But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
Because I'm pretty sure that Toko did not get the poison from the chem lab. I feel like everything just sort of happened, okay? First Hiro attacked Sakura, then Toko attacked Sakura, and then Hina found out, and she walked into that mess, and then, I don't know, I guess just trying to seize the opportunity, seeing, oh wait, she got killed, and then tried to make it seem like Sakura got killed by poison instead. I don't know.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
But then that wouldn't make sense, right? Because why would Hina do that? That means that Sakura must not have died yet at that moment. It could mean that Sakura was like almost dead, and in her dying words she said like, Hina, please, I want you to kill me, so you take credit so you can escape from here. Something along those lines. Maybe that could make sense. Because I still don't think 2 hits to the head is going to kill her. She's just that tough.
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
Oh, the screws are long gone. They're missing.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
That brain is just like loosely going on in his head, up and down like a bouncy ball.
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
Now where could that possibly be, huh?
Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Whoa, why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
It's kind of interesting, you know? I think I pointed it out in both cases, where like, I think very early, yeah, in chapter 2, the second floor became available, where I noticed that there was one lonely locker near the pool, you know? And that turned out to be relevant in the third case, where Hiro would be stuffed in the Robo Justice costume. Like, I thought that was very suspicious. Why would there only be one locker there? And in the rec room as well, when we found that, there was one lonely locker there. And it's kind of funny that in 2 different cases, 2 different murders, both of those lonely lockers are being used to sort of hide in or hide someone else in. No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room. And I have it. She left it there for anyone to find it. A new element has been added to the truth time, or bullet time battles, absolutely. So far you've probably been pressing the left mouse button during your final strike without a second thought, but from now on, you're gonna have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Now you'll have to choose the proper truth bullet to use during your coup de grace. You'll select it the same way as during the non-stop debate, simply by pressing the Q or using the mouse wheel, okay? Also, like the debates, if your logic difficulty is set to kind, no. But for educational purposes, we're just going to pretend you're set to mean regardless. Just this once, okay? Oh, by the way, you're about halfway through the game now. Go you. Only halfway? What? Well then, good luck and have fun. Only halfway? Moment of truth.
It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No,
Got
no,
this.
no! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. That's enough!
Locker handprint.
This should prove it.
Damn.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking.
Both walls, like the inside and like the outside. Well, both on the inside, but you know what I mean, in the back and in the front.
Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
Yeah, does this look like your finger creases?
No, it doesn't.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
You can tear that hair out for all I care.
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Wow.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Yep.
Then you killed Sakura! No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I mean, she's scared of blood, right? And she would faint.
I probably did kill her.
What? The moment Byakuya asks her, she just straight up says it every single time.
Straight up again?
Because of Byakuya asking her.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
Just funny to see the power that Byakuya has over her.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on. So I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
And then she tried to make it look like someone else killed her, probably.
Well, that's awkward.
Yeah, no shit.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But she could have just left it at that, right?
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura? After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there
Holy
was
shit, that's
Sakura,
scary.
covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw that blood, I fainted. Right there in front of the magazines.
She fainted?
I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
But she's dead. Her? You mean... Ah, right, okay. I mean, Genocide Jack. There she is. Summoned.
Guess who's back?
It was your fault after all!
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories. So I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see...
Sakura. It was still Sakura.
everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
Oh, so she admits that she murdered.
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack, no problem.
Yeah. Meaning she was actually poisoned at this point as well. What?
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
No, I think it's the poison.
Hey, come on!
She
that's-
puked there.
You know?
Because what was... She said that when she turned around from putting it back into the shelf, right? Meaning she was standing at the shelf then. And then Sakura was standing behind her. So Sakura was standing near the magazine shelf as well. That's when she's going to vomit blood, puke up the blood. So that makes a lot of sense why the blood is there.
But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre.
That means
so
she
that's
was
good?
That means she was poisoned then before as well, before all this happened. But how long does it take for poison to kick in? That's what I wonder. So that's good? Keep talking like that and Hina's gonna...
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
Not so fast. Huh? I thought for sure you'd have some words for Hiro on that one. Yeah, that's because Hina wants this to be over because it's her. Okay, god dang it, I'm sure it's Hina.
What's wrong? Come on, everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
She wants this over with because it was her.
No, not quite yet.
Huh?
Hina?
Not yet? Why not yet?
Like, why isn't she mad anymore? Was she acting that well before?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd? Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
Yeah, because he was in the chem lab, right? It wasn't?
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
Okay, put that tongue back in your mouth. It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is... yellow powder, I think? Because everything from the examination, the
I was
no
just
blood on the
sleeping
hands,
peacefully,
second
and all
bottle,
of a sudden,
that,
Sakura
yeah.
was right there in front of me.
It has to be this.
I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
Or the status
You
of
got
it,
it!
I don't know.
Smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
Huh. So if the second shot from Toko was what killed Sakura, then the problem is... But she's died sitting there, right? And the glass was kind of at the same place. What? Where did Sakura die? She was seated there for
I was
sure.
just
So it
sleeping
has to be a
peacefully,
status of her body.
And all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I
So it
remember
can't
waking
have been
up
at
right
the
in front
shelf.
of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up.
No.
I killed her there in front of
Nope.
the shelf.
No, that's wrong. We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
Of course.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Hina, this really disappoints me. Like before she was so ready to point fingers and now she's so ready to stick it onto someone else that's not her so she can get away with this?
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
Because I'm pretty sure the digger we deep, that's obviously not what Hina wants, the more, we're going to get to the answer of ultimately thinking that it's gonna be Hina. Like, I'm saying that right now, but I could obviously be wrong, but something inside me is just telling me that that is actually the case. That has to be it. The evidence that proves there was an attack in front of the magazine shelf. The blood, right?
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right?
Like she can?
All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Especially when the body goes limp.
Then what's the deal?
Well, Are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
Oh hell no, not by a long shot.
But...
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door?
Wait, I don't remember. When we peeked through the window, checking what happened, you know, before we broke the window of the door, was the locker room open or closed? I don't quite remember that. God dang, my short-term memory being horrible.
And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason there's no way Toko was hiding in the locker is because I was in the locker was too small, I saw it for myself. I think it was this one because we saw that the locker, it must have been that then.
I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside.
And it
And
was
at
open,
that point,
yeah, okay.
the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know! What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her, thank you very much.
If only it was that simple.
You're lying!
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
Poison.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Could we really be missing something so important? There's another possible explanation. Maybe it's...